I should be honest with you all. It's not that serious. I know I said I was gonna post a video like every day, but like these things are hard to keep up with. Like, let me tell you. I'll get videos to you as fast as I can. Welcome back to another episode. Thank you so much to everybody who has been following along and watching and been giving me feedback or comments. Thank you. It really makes it all like worth it and fun and makes me happy that other people are enjoying this content as well. I got an email from Carrie Schultz, my mom from college, and she showed me this link to this hospital who is wanting artwork from kids and like cards from kids. I'll make sure to put the link in here. If you're in the Chattanooga area, this hospital is looking for cards or artwork from kids to sort of brighten up the moods of their patients. And I think a lot of other hospitals probably are looking for that too, so wherever you are, I think it's a great activity. Since I'm a little older, I'm like, I don't know if they'll like want my artwork. They'll be like, what is this? And maybe I'll send some to the hospital as well. We'll see. I know we have FaceTime and we can like video chat, but it's always nice to get like a handmade letter. We're gonna do two different styles. We're gonna do like a painting method and also like a cutout method. I think these cards will be really fun to send to your family, to your friends, to your grandparents, or to people in the hospital or people in a nursing home. Like, I think it'll be a great thing. You can also get the family involved. The kids can make them, or you can make them, or I think it'll just be a fun thing. So I just wanted to spark some creativity in the card making realm. I know I said I was gonna order no materials or anything. I kind of broke that. I needed hot glue. Like, I was out of hot glue. So I was like, oh, I guess I gotta order some hot glue. So that's on the way. But today, like, I'm gonna just use double-sided tape. So let me show you what I have. I just have a bunch of different colored paper. These two dot hole punches. These are like more than you think. This is like 14 bucks and this was like 8. So like, I'm gonna put them to use. I also have cards. I use these all the time, like to send a letter, to send a thank you note. I already have a card with a little envelope. And so I think these are perfect sizes. I'm just gonna decorate the fronts and then write on the back. So if you have something like this, that's great. If not, you can just use paper, cut it up, use an envelope. Swell. Swell. I also have certain colors that I want to use. Jar for water, I have some paintbrushes, mixed media paper, which is good for watercolor or painting on. I'm gonna get out my cutting board. I'm gonna use an X-Acto knife or scissors. So let's get started on the first type of card. So I'm going to be showing you how I've been making these cards. First thing I had to do is cut paper that sits just within like that. I just would make a mark and just cut along those lines. And then once I have this one that fits, I can just then use that as my guide. So then now I have 4 of these. I've made 2 different styles. I made the black one with these arching, more abstract sort of curves. And I've also made these ones that are a little more orderly. I'm gonna show you how I do the orderly one first. Take a little piece of tape, and then I kind of just start it. So I'm gonna do it on this side. So when I'm doing this, I like to make sure that I am alternating colors in order to give variety. And then I just wanna make sure when I'm placing it that I'm in line on this side and in line on this side. All right, so now that I have all my dots on there like that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it around and cut along the edges here. And then I just kind of tape 4 little pieces of tape along the back. Then I just line it up on this paper and press it down. And then you have a card. And you'll be able to write messages along here. You could put like a piece of paper across like this, and then you could write their name across that as well. So now I'm gonna show you sort of this other style. I already have my square and my colors chosen out. What's best is to usually figure out what sort of movement you're wanting. I'm gonna do a sort of like downward swoop like this. What I find easiest is to usually start in a corner, and I'm gonna just work my way around. It's best to work in a singular path, so that way you don't have too many gaps, because if you put one here and then you're like, oh, I want to put this one here, like you're gonna have a big gap right there. So it's best to sort of work in one direction. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing I did on the other one and turn it around and clean up the edges. So when you're cutting, you want to make sure, especially on these ones where only a little bit is attached, is you can kind of start your cut, and then you want to make sure you're holding both sides down firmly. There you have it, a completed card, and you'll be able to write, if you have like a silver Sharpie, that would work best. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of these cards, and then we'll get started on the other method. I have been making a couple different watercolor patterns. I was experimenting with some, but I found that I definitely like these two styles the best. Pretty much to start out, I did not have any watercolor, so I just used a little bit of acrylic paint. And so I just put like some water, and then I would take the paint and just kind of mix it in. And the different densities is what gives the watercolor look. This one, like, I put it against the wall, and then this one I give a little space. So for this one, I'm gonna give a little space. Take your time, just kind of start. There is this card. So now I'm gonna show you how to do that pattern. You wanna start with just a nice diagonal line like that. And then you can kind of start with another one, kind of coming the opposite direction. And then you kind of fill it in, just like that. And then you go from this point and go back down to this other angle. And then you fill it in as well. And you keep doing that all the way down. I am going to now go ahead and just let these dry for a little bit, and then we'll come back and I will glue them on, and then we'll get going from there. All right, so here are the finished cards. I am happy with how a lot of these turned out. I think the circle ones, I think that they took a little bit longer than I thought, cutting them out, figuring out the colors. And I did put a few like wraps on top, just that way it gives you a place to be able to write who it's to, or thank you, or you're welcome, or get well, whatever you want, you can write along these little bars. They almost look a little store-bought, which is, I guess, good. I don't know. I think that they do work well, and I think that they'll be fun. I think the people who receive them will really like them. And then for the watercolor ones, these were actually a lot faster than I thought. I thought these were gonna take longer. They have a little bit of a tribal Hawaiian vibe to them. Ones that I had left some white border, did leave those ones without a back. For the ones that I painted to the very edge of the paper, I did go ahead and mount those onto a border just to give them a little more room. I did end up finding some hot glue. So I did just hot glue those in the corners and just get those on. I think that they turned out well. I hope that they inspire you to make cards similar, or cards, just cards in general at home to send to family, friends, or those that are in the hospital, those that are sick, and that we can't really visit right now. So thanks so much for watching. I'm excited to continue to do this. We'll definitely be here for the next couple weeks. And so we have more to come. And if you have ideas, go ahead and send them over. If not, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.